Hi, I'm Michael with Lazar Scientific and welcome to Flashpoint Fridays. Today in our continuing Flashpoint Fridays series, we're going to be discussing replacing the flash detector on the Stanhope Seta PM93. For this job, you're going to need a replacement flash detector. The part number is 35000-001 and a 0.9 millimeter Allen key. This entire procedure will be done with the instrument off. If your instrument's on, you should turn it off first. So the first thing we'll do is remove the draft shield. Loosen the two thumb nuts here on the side. Take our draft shield off. Raise our pod. Loosen our two thumb nuts here in the cover. And then remove the two rear thumb screws. Then we'll lift our pod cover up, being careful to disconnect the ground wire, and we'll set that to the side. Now with the pod cover up, we have access to the wiring to unplug the flash detector. It's up here in the middle, and it is the yellow connector here in the center. You just pull it straight off towards the front of the instrument. It's not locked in or anything else, just pull straight off. It can be a little tight, and we'll route that wire down into the side. Next thing we need to do, lift the pod up, and we need to remove the lid and shutter assembly from the pod itself. So there's three knurled thumb screws here. We're going to remove these. It can be a little tight to get to. They are long screws. Okay, 1, 2, now number 3. All right. Now our lid and shutter assembly is hanging free. We'll use our 0.9 millimeter Allen key, and we'll loosen the flash detector set screw. You don't need to remove it. You're just liable to lose it if you do or drop it in the instrument. So just loosen it about a turn or so. Then you can lift the flash detector out vertically. We'll discard our broken flash detector, and we'll get our new flash detector. Want to be careful, the tip of the flash detector is very fragile, and we don't want to damage it during the installation process. It does come with a nice cover on it to protect it. So what we'll do is we'll take that cover off, being careful not to touch the very tip of it. Now we don't want to handle it too much until it's installed and protected. So I'm going to slide it in there right now. Being careful not to bend it. I'll get our 0.9 millimeter Allen wrench. We'll tighten the set screw. Now you don't need to over tighten the set screw, just enough so it's firm and retains the flash detector. Next we'll route our wiring back up through and reconnect it inside the pod. It's a key connector, so it only goes on in one direction, and you just push it in and locks in place. Next we'll need to put the lid and shutter back onto the pod, and it's important that we align several things. One of which here is the shaft for the dipping mechanism. The next is the finger here for the actual dipping servo itself, and then the center here is for driving the stirring. It can take a little bit of fiddling to get it all properly aligned, but with a little practice, it lines itself up nice and easy. Each one of these thumb screws then needs to be reinstalled. Little pro tip here is just to start them all first before you tighten any one down. It'll make it a lot easier in the long run. All right, we got all three started very easily. So now I'll just tighten them all down. It's important that these are all tight. That way the lid and shutter assembly sits flat and makes a good seal with the top of the cup when the pod's lowered to run measurements. All right, all three are nice and tight. We're good to go. So we'll reinstall our pod cover. Lower the pod. Connect our ground wire to the pod cover. Carefully setting the pod cover down over top, making sure not to pinch any wires or any tubing. I go straight down. We'll install the two thumb screws here in the rear. Both of those installed tight. Lift the pod back up. We'll tighten our 2 thumb screws down here that hold the front of the pod cover on. Reinstall our draft shield. With the 2 thumb screws. All right. That completes the replacement of the flash detector for a Pensky Marten PM93. Thank you very much for joining us on another Flashpoint Fridays.
That was a good one.
That was. I was more impressed, man. I got that lid and shutter on like that.